How about we talk about Shiloh's mom getting together with Cove's dad? Oh no! I don't know if I should do that. I think it will upset them, but it's so funny. Hey, since both of you only have one parent, Cove's dad could marry Shiloh's mom. Then you two would be brothers.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Welcome back to Commentary. I am Ari, and we are playing some more Our Life. Let's see what Cove and I are up to today. Welcome back. We're gonna try the long day today, and then we're gonna move up to fireflies in the next episode. This was another scorching summer day, the kind where no sooner you had finished one cup of water, you were already filling it up again, so it's really hot. Everyone else had something on, so that afternoon it was just you and Shiloh. This didn't happen much, especially since Cove had arrived. Oh yeah, that's weird. Without Lizzie around, Shiloh looked to you for all the answers. It made you feel... frustrated? Yeah, it can be nice, but it can also be frustrating. He was always wanting to hear what you thought instead of giving his own opinion, and expected you to come up with the plans. It was hard work, especially for such a hot day. You drained yet another drink and frowned at the empty vessel. Your thirst was gone, but you still craved some icy cold and refreshing. Something sweet, something like ice. Ice cream cone, yes, ice cream sandwich, what the hell? An ice cream cone. Oh, wait, never mind. All of these are ice. Wait, which one do I like the most? Ice cream cone, ice cream sandwich. I think I like cones. I mean, I also like the sandwich, but nothing beat a classic creamy scoop of ice cream on a day like this. There was nothing like that to be found at home. You knew that without needing to look. Your moms didn't keep sweets in the house. In the German skin. Outside there were plenty of places where such goodies could be obtained, but there were shops and demanded payment in exchange for their products. As much as you really wanted that treat, it wasn't going to happen. What's wrong? I want an ice cream cone. Shiloh, who had been draped over the sofa, perked up. Yeah, that sounds good. We don't have any here, and I don't have any money. Oh, let me check if I have any. Shiloh rummaged in his backpack and proudly produced an assortment of coins, plus one stray button. He set the button aside and counted the coins in neat piles. That's just over $1. You announced this to Shiloh. He had almost certainly come to the same conclusion, but he'd been watching you expectantly. That's a start. Wait, no, that's not enough. It's a start. Shiloh beamed at you. No need to be pessimistic in this house. We need to find some more. Okay. The two of you lifted couch cushions, stuck tiny hands down deep crevices in the sofa and under furniture, and scoured the back of drawers. Most of what you found was useless or gross. Bent paper clips, fluffy wisps, or dust, or sand crumbs. But every so often, one of you would strike silver or bronze and add it to the growing pile of coins. Dusty and disheveled from checking every room and squinting into every tiny nook, the two of you finished pooling your finds. Shiloh held his breath as you counted the coins again. $2.53 and 2 buttons. You didn't know when the second button had decided to join the party, but you were too pleased with your successful haul to throw it out. Is that enough? He figured he knew the answer without looking to you for confirmation, but the thrill of your success and the reward that would follow cancelled out any other feelings you might have had about that. Yeah. You could now afford something at the shops. Just one thing, but that was definitely better than none. Shiloh clapped his hands. Yay! The two of you dashed outside. The promise of sugar buoyed you on from your on to your destination where, breathless but happy, you stared at the overwhelming number of options. You knew that what you wanted, but it wasn't just you who had contributed to the funds to get the treat. He seemed to notice your pause.
Aren't you getting an ice cream cone?
Shiloh asked, as though he was entirely separate from the decision, rather than someone with a stake in the outcome.
Do you mind?
Shiloh cocked his head to the side.
It was your idea. You choose.
Oh, that's really nice of you. Are you sure that's okay? Actually, let's try to get something we both want. Because we're gonna share this, right? It wasn't fair of you to be the only one to decide when he'd been a main factor in making this happen. Some of the money came directly from his backpack.
What do you like? All of them. They're so good.
You pressed further.
But what do you really like? Popsicles or ice creams?
Which is your favorite?
Oh, it's so hard to pick. I don't know.
Frustrated, you cut to the heat of the matter.
You want me to choose? Yeah.
That was that. You got the dessert you wanted originally and hoped Shiloh would actually like it too. Finally, the reward for all your hard work was in your hands. You lapped the soft ice cream. The sweetness perked you up. You held it out to Shiloh so he could take a turn. He shook his head.
You can finish it.
What? He didn't want any? After everything he did to help it? That was weird. I don't know. Don't you really don't want something? Even if Shiloh said it was okay, every story you've ever seen on TV or read in a book said that sharing was caring. You stood your ground, even as the treat started to trickle dangerously towards your fingers. It's only fair that you have some. We both bought it.
But you wanted more than I do, and getting to play was a lot of fun already. You can have it. That's more fair.
You held it out to him. I want you to have some even more than I want to finish it, so eat your part. Relenting, Shiloh took the treat and gave it a taste. His eyes lit up.
Thank you. It's really good. Thank you.
You smiled, pleased with your good deed.
You picked the best one.
Did he mean that? Shiloh was always nice, no matter what happened. Even if he hated it, you knew he wouldn't say so. Maybe he thought it was gross, and that's the real reason why he didn't want to take some. You had no idea. You studied him as he ate a little more. He had every appearance of enjoying himself. Still weird. The two of you began to head back home as he ate. You walked side by side on the shoreline in silence, but your thoughts kept drifting to the boy beside you. Why didn't he speak up for himself? It was almost as if Shiloh didn't know how to say what he felt and was too afraid to. I don't know. I don't think no, he's not scared. I guess I'm gonna say, are we friends? Shiloh opened his eyes wide, seeming caught off guard by the blunt question. Of course we're friends, but...
Yeah, I think so.
He says that, but friends should be able to talk to each other without being scared. If Shiloh wouldn't do that, were you even really friends at all? He rubbed his hands together nervously over your non-reaction.
Sorry.
You weren't sure how sorry he could be without knowing what he's even apologizing for, but you shook your head.
You didn't do anything wrong.
It was true. Shiloh hadn't done something mean. He'd gone out of his way to make you happy. That didn't seem like it should be a bad thing, yet it bothered you. I just don't know if you like me. It's like, it doesn't matter what I do, you're gonna act the same. I could be anybody and you wouldn't care.
No, I like you. I really, really like you, Ari. I want to be friends.
Okay. You smiled hesitantly at him and his fidgeting ceased. Even though you weren't sure if you believed him, this was only making things worse. You decided that maybe there were all types of friends. If Shiloh wasn't able to do things differently, this would have to be alright. Shiloh made you unsure about setting a label on the experience of spending the afternoon with just him. There had been good times and there had been confusing ones. You were positive of one thing at least. The treat was delicious, and that was nice. The sun was low on the horizon as you returned to your neighborhood. There you spotted two very familiar figures up ahead, Lizzie and Cove. You opened your mouth to make your presence known to them just as you saw the tears on Cove's face. You walked straight over, Shiloh at your heels. Once there, Yeah, I'm not gonna accuse anyone. Like, I don't want to be mean to my sister, and I also don't want to assume things for Cove. He could have just fell or something. Also, she looked sad, so... Carefully asked about what happened. Without a time machine, the only way you were going to find out was by asking the witnesses. Lizzie might have done something, but she could also have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, or even come to Cove's aid. You wanted to hear the story.
Cove, what happened?
Sorry.
I got yelled at.
He took a deep, steadying breath. Some grandpa got mad at me.
Aw, sorry.
Lizzie jerked her head in the direction of a nearby house. Your head sunk. You knew exactly what had happened. Every year the same mean old couple rented out that condo for the summer. You, Lizzie, and Shiloh knew to stay away from them, but Cove couldn't have.
They're like that with everyone.
Even your mom struggled to find anything nice to say about them, but the elderly pair particularly took offense to kids. It didn't matter if they were really nice like Cove. Yeah, Lizzie said. Oh, so she was nice to him. That's nice. Lizzie drew herself up on that. She looked pointedly in your direction.
I was helping. That's cool. Is there anything I can do?
No.
I'm just gonna stay away.
Or you could teach them a lesson.
There was a devilish glint in her eyes. What?
You should ding-dong ditch them. Go ring the doorbell and run. It would be great, 'cause they're so slow. They never catch you.
That's dumb. I don't want to go near them ever again.
You're just saying that because you're a chicken.
Oh no, this is typical child's games. Cove glared, but didn't take the bait. Lizzie turned to you.
You're not a chicken, are you?
I'd rather just avoid them. He looked at the house. Behind those closed doors lurked two beings, rich in years and poor in patience. Maybe they deserved retaliation. Maybe they didn't, but that punishment wouldn't be coming from you. It was safer to stay away from them, especially since Cove took their outbursts to heart. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was a lame kid.
I'm not doing it either. Another chicken for the coop. This is a hen house now.
If we're chickens, then you're a lizard, Lizzie. She waggled her tongue at his face.
Still better than being a bird brain. Chicken.
The condo door opened, revealing one of the two culprits. The old man's wizened face was set in a scowl, which was to say he looked exactly like he always did when you saw him. Maybe that was his normal face. What are you kids doing loitering around outside my house? Or maybe he was just always in a terrible mood.
Nothing.
Nothing. He repeated the word as if it was the greatest crime anyone could commit. Nothing good, more like. Get lost. It was as if he owned the space outside the house, but Cove's eyes, still red from his earlier tears, were wide, and you thought it would be best to heed the old man's command. Lizzie took off, with Shiloh immediately trailing after her, without so much as a glance back in your direction. So much for your friendship. You waved your arm at Cove, summoning him to follow you, and ran after Lizzie. The old man's hollers propelled you all from the street to the sanctity of the hill. Once you were safe, you did notice the stitch in your chest and the ache of your legs. You flopped down, the blades of grass tickling your face. Lizzie, who had taken the lead in the end, was already lazing on the ground. The four of you took a moment to catch your breath and enjoy the feeling of cool grass against your skin. Cove lifted his head. I told you there were mean grandpas around here. Cove rolled his eyes, then decided this wasn't dismissive enough and rolled his whole body away from his sister. Lizzie chose to ignore his response and started chatting with Shiloh, who eagerly joined in the conversation. In the back of your mind, you knew you'd be second fiddle again to Shiloh once Lizzie came around. It always went like that. Yeah, it's kind of sad. You felt a little sad after how much time you spent together today. You had been hoping the two of you might become closer, but you had to let it go. He was happy where he was. There were other things you attended to anyway. You wiggled closer to Cove. He had calmed down, for the most part, and was inspecting a flower. His fingers pinched the stem and tilted the white petals towards him.
That's a poppy.
Cove glanced at you in acknowledgement, then back to the flower.
And the type of poppies on this hill have the name white linen poppy. Mom told me.
He squirked a smile. That's funny. He ran a finger around the edge of the petals. It doesn't look like cloth. You need a lot of them to make anything. He nodded and released the delicate plants, evaluation complete. This is my favorite kind of flower, but I didn't know what it was called. Thanks. Okay, I wanna. Wow, that's a lot of. That's a lot of choices. But I kinda like. Oh, type your own answer. What? Wait. Oh, your favorite flower. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so it's mine too. I like roses. Buttercups are really great. My favorite is snapdragons. Let me look those up. Let me look everything up as usual. I don't know the English names, that's the problem. How about I show you a picture of every flower? So, roses I think we all can imagine, but here's a picture. Buttercups looks like this. I think I really like those actually. Snapdragons. Snapdragons look really complicated, I don't know. The next one is hibiscus. That's a very tropical and nice plant. I kind of like those. I mean, they're a bit funky with the... I have no idea how it's called in English, with the node or whatever, the thing sticking out. They also smell really nice, honestly. Peonies, I hope I pronounced that right, are very pretty in my opinion. But I'm not sure. I think I'm still rooting for the buttercups so far. It's a simple but nice flower. I really like that one growing up. Sunflowers should be self-explanatory, but here's a picture. Tulips are also really well known. There are some really beautiful tulips if you look for them. I guess I usually like the wild flowers, or like not the neat looking flowers, but I guess buttercups is an exception. Orchids are obviously a front runner. Most people like orchids a lot. I also do. I mean, depends on the orchid type, I guess. I don't like the ones that look like fly traps, kind of. I like all flowers. I don't care about flowers. I only know what my mom tells me. Actually, I kind of want to go for either... Actually, not orchids, not tulips, not sunflowers. Peonies. Actually, I'm just gonna go for buttercups. Yeah, those are nice too. They're bright and cute. You match with them. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. You moved onto your back with a small smile and looked at the darkening sky. The blanket of clouds reminded you of a thick throw you curled under on cold rainy days. You wondered if the clouds would be as soft. They lazily floated on by, spitting from each other. Splitting. I mean when it's raining, I guess. Splitting from each other, merging and morphing into new shapes. You saw cloud shapes. Smiley face, alpaca car. I saw a dolphin. You saw a dolphin leaping through the sky. You nudged Cove and pointed to it. Look, a dolphin! Cove joined you in gazing skywards. Ah, I see it. Really? No, but I like dolphins. Hey. He chuckled at your reaction. All the sun's light faded from the sky, and the moon rose higher. Lizzie got to her feet, dusting strands of grass from her bare legs, and surveyed her surroundings. The ocean, visible from the crest on the hill, beckoned with every sweep of the tide.
Let's go to the beach.
There was no argument from the other two. Shiloh was still Shiloh, and Cove would never say no to going to the shore. He was a child of the sea. You... I want to go through. So you eagerly joined the others in descending the hill down to the water. You stepped onto the sand for the second time that day, but it felt different at night. The beach that was nearly quiet at this hour, abandoned sand castles and footsteps in the sand, too big to belong to any of you. They were the only indication of how busy it had been hours earlier. The four of you kicked shoes off and removed socks and walked along the water's edge. The waves tickled your feet. I wonder... Wait, that's Lizzie.
I wonder what would happen if you tried to take a bath in the ocean, with shampoo and everything.
That would be bad for the fish.
Jeez.
I didn't say anyone would do it. Jeez, you don't have to be so serious about everything.
You're the one who asked what would happen. That is what would happen. It hurt the fish.
I like bubble baths at home. They're a lot of fun.
Me too. Bubble baths are luxurious. You'd never heard Lizzie use that word before.
Mommy loves to have bubbles in her bath. She'd turn the lights off and have candles. I'm gonna do that next time. Hey, when's your mom coming to pick you up anyway?
Oh. Oh wait, she was asking Shiloh, I thought. Like she was talking to Cove.
Not for a while, she's busy.
What about your dad? How come you never talk about him? Nobody does. Didn't you know you're not supposed to ask something like that? Why would somebody want to talk about something they never talk about? You kept your eyes on the ground, watching your toes get swallowed by waves. Even if Shiloh never seemed upset when this topic came up, it made you feel awkward just for having both of your moms.
That's okay. I like Lizzie and Ari. I don't have a dad.
Wait, I'm like Lizzie and Ari and I don't have a dad. Okay.
But I don't have two moms. I just have one, and she's really great.
Oh, sorry. I only have one now too. My mom isn't there. She's back home. It's just my dad with me.
Sorry.
Oh, I never had a dad or anything, so I don't feel bad. It's really sad that your mom is gone.
Cove nodded. How about we joke about Shiloh's mom getting together with Cove's dad? Oh no! I don't know if I should do that. I think it will upset them, but it's so funny. You didn't have anything comforting to say to that, so you tried to lighten the mood instead.
Hey, since both of you only have one parent, Cove's dad could marry Shiloh's mom. Then you two would be brothers.
Cove stopped abruptly. His face set hard.
No.
My dad isn't going to do that. Oh, I guess it was too early. Yeah, I shouldn't say that when they just got divorced. I guess I'm just not gonna say anything. You couldn't come up with something you thought would make the conversation any less awkward, so you kept quiet. It was safer that way. The silence broke with a splash as Lizzie kicked in your direction. Cold water and sodden sand splashed against your legs. Yeah, we don't need to solve every interaction, right? There's also other people with agency here. Lizzie giggled, foot still outstretched from the kick. Cove joined in. Yeah, that's way better. Thanks, Lizzie. Striking the incoming waves to make a splash of his own. Shiloh scurried out of Cove's spray zone with a grin. Wait, what? Cove joined in. Shiloh scurried out of Cove's spray zone. No, you know what? I'm gonna fight Cove. You retaliated. You used your foot to smack the water pooling around you, sending an arc of the sea from flying back onto your sister. Wait, of sea foam. You laughed as she fluttered, some of the salty seawater having landed in her mouth. She spat it out.
Yuck.
Lizzie chased you, intent on revenge. You dashed up and down the coast, taking it in turns to be the predator and the prey, as well as joining forces to take down Shiloh or Cove. Alliances were silently forged and wordlessly broken. Everything was fair game in war. Shiloh's brief exclamation was drowned out by the biggest splash yet, caused by him falling face first onto the ground. That wouldn't have been bad enough without the wave that followed, cascading over his prone body. Shiloh sat up, shaking his head like a dog coming in from the rain. As you all hurried over to check on him, his hair was plastered to his head and his soaked clothes clung. If there was any part of him that was still dry, you couldn't see it. That was crazy. Are you okay?
Yeah, my foot got stuck and I fell over.
Way to go. Way to go, Shiloh, you dumbo. Offer him some help. Shiloh didn't take your outstretched hand. After a moment, you dropped it. Lizzie was too busy snickering to notice, and held her hand out to Shiloh too. He reached over and took it. Oh, come on! Slowly he started to pull himself from the ground. Then he slipped on the slick sand. Sorry, I'm still upset about the hand thing. Dragging him and Lizzie down just in time for another wave to hit. The water rolled over them.
Sorry.
What were the odds of that happening twice in a row? You thought they must be low, but there's no way Shiloh would do something like that on purpose, then pretend it was an accident, especially not to Lizzie. Even if your relationship with Shiloh felt unclear, he did at least like her a lot. Lizzie was his favorite, right? Smiling boldly, Lizzie extracted herself from the ground and wiped a streak of sand from her cheek. She didn't intend to let this embarrass her. Shiloh got up again as well, this time without incident. He still looked like a drowned puppy, but that didn't stop Cove laughing at the two of them. With that, it was time to call it a day. The four of you made the journey back home, leaving a trail of wet footsteps and sand in your wake. Oh boy. Damp clothes may have weighted down some of the group, but your spirits were high. Your arms swung side to side as a cool breeze flowed past. Your moms were outside chatting to Cove's dad. We're back! Your mom's faces fell as they took in the state you were all in, ranging from messy to soaked.
Now.
Elizabeth, is that all you have to say for yourself? You brought half the beach back with you. So they certainly did. That's Marigold going to do when she comes to get Shiloh. Is that how you want him to be for the long drive? Cold and filthy? Lizzie's expression turned sulky over the scolding. Being the oldest could be fun, but it also meant she was the first to get in trouble when something went wrong. Mr. Holden, on the other hand, chuckled as he ruffled Cove's matted hair. You've been out making memories, bucko. I'm glad you had a good time with your friends. Cove used his slightly moist cast arm to push his dad off. Mr. Holden's eyes widened when he noticed even that had gotten wet. Now he was worried too. I think they could have found a less risky way to spend time and had just as much fun. That might be right. Kids, what can you do? Come on, Cove. Wait, kids, what can you do? Come on, Cove, let's go get you cleaned up and dried off. We wouldn't want that cast to have to be reset. Cove winced at the thought.
Okay.
Attaboy. Mr. Holden casually bent down and plucked Cove off the ground, ultimately holding Cove against his chest. Sand was already transferring from Cove onto him, but it didn't seem to bother Mr. Holden. Cove protested being carried, but only got a reassuring pat on the back for his trouble.
Take care.
Good night, Cove. Thank you for the talk, Cliff. Good night, Video Game Girl family, and Shiloh too. Resigned to his fate, Cove twisted his body in his dad's arm in order to turn around and wave goodbye. Smiling, you waved back.
Good night.
Fine, fine.
Well, we'd better do what we can to fix you guys up. Come on, everybody inside. I want you to march straight to the downstairs bathroom.
Okay, Lizzie's mom.
Don't worry about stopping to wipe your feet on the mat this time. I won't do much good tonight. Sitting on an old beach towel your mommy had found, you waited in the hall until you were less sandy. Until you were less sandy, you weren't allowed to go to your room or walk around the house. But you did get to eat a sandwich for dinner there. It felt like an indoor picnic. It had been decided that Shiloh would wash first and borrow some of your clothes. He was already finished and packed away in his mom's car. Miss Fields had come to collect him a while ago. It was a bit of a funny experience, seeing him without that hat on for once. Lizzie, being much more soaked than you, got to go in the tub next. It wasn't a bubble bath as she had hoped. It was a no fun allowed cleaning up session. That's at least what she claimed. Not much longer, and it would be your turn. When the bath was done, you would have to go right to bed. After a day like this, though, you were glad there weren't going to be any further events. Drifting off to sleep sounded like a great idea. Alright, this is the last one. Now come the DLC, which I will play without recording. And then I'm gonna report back to you.